I'm doing something a little bit different. I was sent a video to have a look at, and I really liked the recipe on there, but it didn't have a name, and the ingredients, it didn't really give you a good list of ingredients, so I've tried to kind of guess as much as I can, so we're going to give it a go. I'm going to call this potato and egg rolls. So let's have a look and see what we do. Okay, so in the recipe it said use 2 potatoes. That was it. So I've gone with 2 medium potatoes. You want them to be about 200 grams each. So about 400 grams altogether. And that's a very big ish. So we're going to take that. We're going to take a bowl of water and a grater. And we're going to grate these potatoes. Okay, once that's done then, you're just going to just rinse them off really, get some of that starch out of there. And then we're going to drain this off. But unlike with hash browns, we're not going to dry these in a tea towel, so we can keep them quite wet. We just want to drain off all the water. Okay, once that's done then, we are going to transfer this into a bowl. So like I said, I haven't really drained it. I did push it down to get out as much of the water as I can, but it is still wet. So next up, I'm going to take 2 eggs and I'm going to beat them together. And I'm going to pour that in. And then we're going to add some parsley. Again, it didn't say how much, so they use fresh parsley, so a handful. I've got the frozen one. So let's get 2 tablespoons in there. And then we're going to add 1 small onion which has been finely diced. 1 pepper, any colour, finely diced. And 2 tablespoons of plain flour. Now I'm going to give that all a good mix in. Okay, there we go. Now then in the video they had this put onto a large baking tray that's been lined with greaseproof paper. I don't think I've got one big enough, so I've got 2 small ones, which I think will do the job. So I'm just going to put half on each, and we're just going to spread it out all the way to the edges. Okay, there we go. So you don't really want to see any gaps in this, so make sure that it is all completely joined together. So these are then going to go in the oven at 180 degrees for about 25 minutes. Okay, there we go. So it's just starting to brown. Feels like it has dried off. I can see a few gaps, but hopefully that's not going to be a problem. So I'm going to let this cool down while we make the filling. Okay, on to the filling then. So we've got a frying pan, put some oil in. I used a spray oil. I guess you could put maybe about a tablespoon of olive oil. And then we're going to add 1 onion, which has been finely diced, and 2 peppers, which have been finely diced. And I've got this on a medium to high heat, and we'll fry that off for about 3 minutes. Okay, once that's started to soften, we're going to add chicken. So this is corn. If you're going to do chicken, use 1 chicken breast and cut it into small cubes. The corn, it was frozen, and I've let it defrost and I've cut it into smaller bits because I think you need smaller bits than corn comes in. So I've cut it all in half. So we're going to fry that. I don't know how long chicken takes, but for this it takes about 5 minutes. Okay, once the chicken is cooked, we're going to add 2 cloves of garlic, which have been crushed, and a bit of salt and pepper. And we're going to stir that through for about 1 minute. Okay, once that's done, we're then going to add 50 grams of grated cheddar, and we're just going to melt that in. Right, once that's melted then, we are going to move back on to the egg and potato. Okay, so for the egg and potato, just going to take it off the baking tray, if I can. So if you've done this in 1 big bit, you want to cut it in half and then into 3. So you're going to have 6 slices. So we'll cut this into 3. You should be able to pick it up like that. Now we're going to take some of the mixture, place it at one end, and then we're just going to roll this up. There we go, just like that. And then I'm going to put this back onto a baking tray. I'm going to put it back onto the paper as well. I'm going to finish up the rest of them. So once you're done, you should have something that looks a bit like this. The last thing we're going to do is going to add 50 grams of grated mozzarella, and we're just going to sprinkle this on top. Okay, and then this is going to go back in the oven, still at 180 degrees for 15 minutes. Oh, look at that. That cheese is melted. Lovely. They smell great. Let's get these plated up and give it a try. Okay, let's give this a try then. The egg and potato is really, really nice, and the filling goes well with it. So, I mean, you can put any filling you wanted in there. I just done the one that they did on the recipe. But yeah, they're really good. That's a really good idea. So you could do so much with it. But yeah, definitely worth giving a go. So that's it from me. Keep experimenting, have fun, and I'll see you next time. Bye!